Hello, let's talk about how to identify keys from key signatures. We'll first focus on major keys, and then we'll write key signatures together. We'll also identify minor keys from key signatures. When we have a piece of music, we first see the clef, also time signature. We have looked into these two aspects in previous videos. And in this video, we'll focus on key signature. Key signature tells us where the tonic is. In last video, we built up major scales. Let's revise the key signatures in different keys. For major keys, the 3rd to 4th degree and 7th to 8th degree are semitones. The others are whole tones. So, in C major, we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. And in G major, we have F sharp. So, we put a sharp sign before F. But then, it is very clumsy to write sharp in every F throughout the music. So, we put the sharp after the clef, and this means whenever we see Fs, they automatically become F sharps. And it is not limited to the Fs on the 5th line, but applies to Fs in all octaves. In D major, we have F sharp and C sharp. To make things simpler, we'll keep the F sharp on the 5th line and then C sharp on the 3rd space. Like D major, we have F sharp and C sharp, and then G sharp is added. And then E major, D sharp is added. And B major, A sharp is added. And for F sharp major, even though we have F sharp in the 1st and 8th degree, we can simply put one F sharp on the 5th line. Lastly, E sharp is added. Similarly for flat keys, we first have B flat in F major. For B flat major, we simply put B flat on the 3rd line, and then E flat. E flat major, A flat is added. A flat major, D flat is added. D flat major, G flat is added. G flat major, C flat is added. Here is the summary for the sharp and flat keys. Now, we know the principle of how key signatures are formed. But, do we need to write all scales down before we know what key it is? It sounds impractical. So, is there any ways to identify keys from key signatures? I can think of 3 ways. The first one I'm going to share with you is 2 mnemonics. This is a bit childish, but it is a good and fast way to remember the keys. For sharp keys, go down and eat breakfast. For example, if we see 3 sharps in the key signature, given that it is in major, go down and it is A major. For flat keys, fat boy eats all day. For example, if we see 2 flats in the key signature, fat boy, so it is a B flat major. And you may notice that for flat keys except F major, all keys have got flats like B flat, E flat, A flat, and D flat. You may have heard of circle of fifths before. This is very systematic to understand the relationship between key signatures and the corresponding keys. If there is no sharps or flats, it is C major. And then, for sharp keys, we go up a perfect fifth. If there is 1 sharp, we go up a fifth from C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get G major. If there are two sharps, we go up a fifth from G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and get D major. If we go further from D, we have A major for 3 sharps. So, we can find the corresponding keys for all sharp keys by going up a perfect fifth. And it also works for flat keys. But instead of going up, we go down a perfect fifth. For example, we start from C, going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have F major for 1 flat. Going down from F, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have B flat for 2 flats. From B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have E flat for 3 flats, and so on. The similar principle applies to minor keys as well, but we'll leave the minor keys for the time being. Okay, the third way I'd like to share with you is just finding the key directly from the key signature. Personally, I like this the best because it is direct and we don't really need to count at all. We can tell the keys right away. For example, there is 1 sharp, which is F sharp. We simply ascend 1 letter, literally 1 semitone higher, and this will be G major. Or if there are 2 sharps, we only need to focus on the last sharp, which is C sharp. We ascend 1 semitone to get D major. Okay, what key is this? Can we get the answer in 3 seconds? 1, 2, 3. The last sharp is A sharp. 1 semitone higher will be B major. Now, let's go to flat keys. For 1 flat, we need to memorize it by heart. This is F major. And then from 2 flats and so on, we can always refer to the second last flat. For example, this is B flat, so it will be B flat major. How about this? 1, 2, 3. The second last flat is G flat, so this is G flat major. To summarize, for sharp keys, 1 semitone higher than the last sharp. For flat key, same as the second last flat. Now, we can identify the key from key signatures. But how can we write key signatures? The rule is simple. For sharp keys, always down a fourth and up a fifth. The first sharp is on F, that is the 5th line with treble clef, or the 4th line with bass clef. And then we move down a fourth and get C. Move up a fifth to get G, down and get D, up and get A. But then, A is on the first upper ledger line in treble clef. It doesn't look good at all, as we always want to make things as simple as it can be. So, we put the sharp on the A an octave lower, just to make it easier to read. And the question is, the upper ledger line problem happens in treble clef, but not in bass clef. Will we move the A in bass clef as well? Yes, we will. Does it look more consistent then? And then, of course, we can continue writing the sharp by the rule up a fourth and down a fifth. How about flat keys? The rule is similar, but up a fourth and down a fifth instead. The first flat is on B, then up a fourth to get E, down a fifth to get A, up to get D, down to get G, up and get C, and down to get F. It is quite easy, isn't it? But I suggest practicing more on writing the key signatures so we will be very familiar with the 2 rules for sharp and flat keys. Let's move on to minor keys. Minor are always less direct than major. They don't have their own key signatures, but they borrow the key signatures from major keys, and they keep the leading note and submediant as accidentals. But then, which minor borrow from which major key signature? Remember, the relative minor is always the submediant of the major. So, a major and its submediant share the same key signature. Let's take C major as an example. Here is C major scale. The submediant, that is the 6th degree, is A. So, with no sharp or flat, it can be either C major or A minor. How about G major? The 6th degree is E. So, for one sharp, it can be either G major or E minor. For two sharps, it can be either D major or B minor. For three sharps, it can be A major or F sharp minor. Yes, don't forget, this is actually F sharp. For four sharps, it can be E major or C sharp minor. For five sharps, it can be B major or G sharp minor. For six sharps, it can be F sharp major or D sharp minor. It is rather similar for flat keys, so I'm not going to show them here, but we can learn all minor keys from their 6 degrees too. Again, my question is that, do we need to write all scales to get a minor? Well, can it be more direct? Let's look at one sharp. Just to refresh our memory, we go up one semitone to get G major. And we can also go down one whole tone to get E minor. Yes, this is one whole tone, not semitone. For two sharps, going up one semitone to get D major, or going down one whole tone to get B minor. Flat is less obvious, but we can always think a minor third down for minor. For example, one flat is F major, going down a minor third to get D minor. For two flats, it is B flat major, or down a minor third to get G minor. Here is the list of all major and minor keys, and you can see the relative major and minor keys sharing the same key signatures, and minor is always a minor third lower than its major. Okay, this is the theory, but practically, how can we identify if a piece of music is in major or minor? In next video, we can look at some music score and see if we can find any hints for the answer. Stay tuned. Goodbye.